with Colin Birkas of your Brockville Braves. Colin, the Braves clicking a little bit more, playing better. He had a 4-game winning streak. What were you doing well in those games?
We came up with a new system of accountability. It's a chart. I don't want to give too many secrets away, but it basically has a spectrum to measure players shift by shift, what good they bring compared to what bad they bring, shift to shift, and at the end of every period we tally it up and we rank the players in order from best to worst in those categories, and then post it in the locker room. And we found a dramatic change in philosophy. It was no more of waiting for a veteran guy to take over a game or have Hank steal a game. It was more of, okay, well, this is how I can help the team. This is how the things are being measured, so I can control this. I can go out, I can finish my checks, I can block shots, and at the end I'll be a plus player under this new system. And they're athletes, so it's another competition within a competition, and I don't want to do it forever. We did it the last 10 games. I think we're 7-3 in them, so that's a positive. We're going to continue to do it a little bit more. I don't want it to get stale. I'd like to be able to go back to it if we have to, but we'll be doing it tonight.
Yeah, so I mean, they're always accountable, but this is a more of a competitive, pinpointed approach?
Yeah, I think we don't really have rookies anymore. Everyone's played a half a season now. But I think because there's so many new guys, that there's that bystander effect. I think they felt like, okay, I don't have it tonight, someone else will take over. Devin Moore will do it, or Corey Caruso will do it. And they kind of wait for the other guy to do something. And we needed some way to shift into, you can make a difference every single shift you're out there. And at the end, if everybody's doing that, we got a good enough team that we're going to win most nights. So there was just a couple sleepless nights and talking to some old colleagues. And that's why we came up with it.
So the potential thing is long gone.
Yeah.
Colin, Cornwall Colts, third meeting between the two teams this season. You remember the 1-0 game in Cornwall, 5-4 shootout victory here. Third game, they're coming off a loss last night. Cornwall Colts tonight.
Yeah, very good hockey team. Had two very good games against them. I think, whether you want to pinpoint our season turnaround, whether it was the Cornwall game here or a road game in Ottawa on a Saturday night, it's one of those two games I really felt was when we finally started to believe in ourselves a little bit. But it's going to be a tough test. I watched them play on Hockey TV last night, and I turned it on at 5-1 to see what was going on. And the last 5 minutes, they were just dominant. They were really, really good. So I'm afraid that's how they're going to start tonight. But we'll be ready.
So is that similar to the Brockville-Pembroke game last Sunday?
I'm still waiting for us to show up that night. That was, it's one of those things I didn't want to get too hard on them for that. There was no heavy skate on the next practice or anything like that, because the good has far outweighed the bad. But the first two periods up in Pembroke were a real letdown and a real step back. If you can draw a positive, Hank was really good in the third, and Faith and Kiriakou were really good in the third, along with Varney, actually. So take that as a positive, but they're still just kids, so we give them a little bit of reprieve on that.
Kiriakou, you mentioned roster changes. There's been a few. There's been some shuffling of the deck.
Yeah, 100%. Brought in Blake Coffey as a kid I coached against when I was in the OJ. Elite level tools. Hoping he can put it all together here. We'll leave him be a little bit. Let him just play. Let him get used to the league and get comfortable. And we'll evaluate him. But I think he's going to be a real good player here for a year or two. Kiriakou, obviously you've seen him play against the Braves, and then he played for us the other night. Couple games now. Heavy kid, plays heavy. It's my boss right there. Plays a heavy game. I know Dustin was a big fan of him, so that one's really on Dustin. He really targeted that kid and wanted to bring him in. So we're happy with him. He brings a little bit of size and grit to our top six, which is a positive.
Some shifting of 20-year-olds. Renda out to Alberta, playing the Alberta League, the Brooks Bandits. This way comes Austin Wright. What does Austin Wright bring to the table?
You know, I don't want to, for the rest of my career, compare teams to what I had in Kingston, but the more and more my staff and I talked about what was missing from this group, we have all this speed and skill you can want in a hockey team, but we were missing that guy that brings jam and can play a lot of minutes. So, we think he can kind of replicate what we had in Cole Bolton or Mike Caselli, guys like that we had in Kingston that were really, really abrasive and hard to play against. I think at times in tight games we're a little too easy to play against, and this kid can play. Like he was shuffled down the deck a little bit on a very good Brooks team, but he's a very, very good player.
Thanks a lot. Good luck tonight.
No problem.
Colin Birkas, your Rockville Braves.